and which it was, but they had plans for her. Their intentions was to put her in this Nine of Swords energy, which was to somewhat traumatize her. Now, was this trauma a physical trauma? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But to put her in this Nine of Swords, making her think, or try to make her think, that whatever she was bringing, which was truly all that in a bag of chips, they had to put her in the mindset that it wasn't. So they tried to disrupt her energy. This is why they can't go anywhere with her. The plan, and I mean, I don't care how you spend it. It was a plan for to bring the +1 on the trip was to put her in this Nine of Swords energy, to mess with her mental. And they had plans, and I'll tell you how. There was when Kimmy said, when they saw Sunny, she said, "Oh, this changes everything." When the shock on their faces was when they saw Sunny was all telling. It was all telling. That told their story. Now, you can blame it on editing. You can blame it on whatever it is that you want to blame it on. But now, I truly believe that when she asked, could she bring her +1? Now, whether Melody knew that her +1 was who it was or not, it doesn't even matter. The fact that when you ask, could you bring your +1, and you didn't say who that +1 was, you kept it secret. You knew already who you planned on that +1 being, because you sat at the table, Tisha, and you said, she's a part of this circle. She's a part of your circle. This is not your trip. She's a part of your circle. So, you know what? And it would not have been inappropriate for her to actually call security and escort you out. And then for the audacity of not all of the ladies, but the ladies, to complain about their accommodations. See, Melody is a lot different from me. And maybe I have more of her scorpion tail than she does. But when you said, I'm not doing this, I didn't come this many miles away and leave my kids at home. I'm not doing this. No, it's a no for me, or whatever it is you said. You know what I would have said? I will pay for you to get back to the airport. Your car will be outside shortly. I don't know what you thought she was going to do. Did you think she was going to beg you to stay? I wouldn't have given you the time of day. I definitely wouldn't have offered up my room. Because for what she did in this accommodation, she had done more than enough. Anyone who's going on a trip to the islands, they're not staying in the room anyway. And I don't know what made you think, with your entitled self, what made you think that you were entitled to anything you didn't pay. But I would have made arrangements for your, I wouldn't have made arrangements because you chose to come on that trip. But you know, I remember this trip, I don't know how long ago it was, but it put me in the energy and I don't know if it's okay to say her name, but I'll just say her initials, so you probably know who I'm talking about. But I think her name was S. Robinson. Let me tell you, I'm only saying her name because that's how you behaved. All of you, including Nail, all of you behaved with that type of energy. I don't know what you intended to portray. You can blame it on editing if you want to, but for my eyes, and I have 3 that was watching, that's the type of energy you were in. So if that's not what you want the world to see, I suggest you talk to editing, because you look really stank on that trip. And you act like you've never been anywhere. Even at the airport, complaining about who's going to get your bags. It's a girls' trip. You're going to get your bags. But the reason you act like you had never been anywhere, because you were screaming it out, Kimmy. Have some class. You didn't act like millionaires. I can tell you, you did not act like millionaires. Because if you didn't want to carry your own bags, you could have gotten someone to pull your bags for you and take them and escort you to the car. You act like you've never been anywhere. But the judgment has come down, and I haven't seen how this trip is going to end, but the judgment. Now, I'm going to show you this. She's protected. The judgment will come down from up above. She's protected. The wings here, the angel there, she's protected. So, and you just never get it. You can't come when you're trying to box with an anointed one. You're not boxing with her, you're boxing with the powers that be. Believe that. And you can't win. You look foolish. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because you came in there with the intention. And then the fact that you said you gave me that room because of who my +1 was going to be, then you knew that the +1 was a problem. You tell on yourself all the time, and that lets us know that you're not as smart as you thought you were. And I'm going to tell you this. I think all of them were in cahoots. But I had told in a previous reading that if I were Melody, I would have sharpened my blades, because she needs to trim the fat. At some point, you have to stop trying with people who don't want to, they want to be in your energy because they want the sun to shine on them too, but they're not deserving of your energy. They're not deserving of your light. And that's the problem. Melody, you're trying to force a square peg in a round hole. It won't fit. It won't work. It won't work. And I told you, when you don't let people learn their lessons, be careful, because you could potentially take on part of their karma, and you really are, because you keep allowing these people in your circle. I'm not saying whether it's hurting you or not, but they're trying to traumatize you, because the conversations that are being had on this trip, that's not a girl's trip. That's not a girl's trip. Girls' trips are to be able to have fun without the significant other and the kids and the troubles of the world. You're leaving them all behind for a moment. And when you do that, on that trip, you get back to business when you get home, but you don't allow other people to pull you into it. This is why Melody cuts off after the show and she spends her time alone. I know what that alone time feels like, and it is great. And yours is very great because you don't deal with these haters. They are haters. And so it's interesting to me that they say, they'll say that they will say that the millimeters, traumatized them. That's why they wouldn't go to her events, but they try to traumatize her. And looking at these cards, they're trying to traumatize her for her achievements because there's nothing else you got to do, go after her for. Why do you keep she doesn't, I wouldn't say she doesn't care, but she doesn't care about what happened in her marriage at this time. And I get the impression that that's going to come out in part 2 of this girls trip, but she doesn't care. Let me tell you, for me, if I've moved on, I've moved on. She needs to move on from you guys. And I know there was one commentator saying that they're trying to be friends, they don't need to be. For the sake of the show, you do what you got to do and you keep it moving. But you don't have to be friends with these people to work with these people. You be professional. You can be professional and cordial in their space. But I want to commend, I think Dr. Shanita for stepping up. And I don't think she was too harsh on Tisha at the table. I don't think, she came in kind of like a wrecking ball, but I think that's the only thing that makes Tisha stop in her tracks, because she thinks that whining voice I'm sorry, bad girl, she thinks that whining voice and that yeah is always going to work for her. But that's for people who know you, who care, who give a hoot, like Kimmy, who really doesn't give a hoot, but she has to give a hoot because she's married to your husband's brother. In order for her to keep peace in her home, she has to give a hoot. But Dr. Shanita or myself or most people don't give a hoot about you and your whining and your tantrums. That's why you had to straighten up your voice, and you came the way that you came back at Dr. Shanita, but you were out of order before Dr. Shanita stepped in. Because, when you told Mel, oh, Mel, don't do that, because you know that you knew she was coming. It didn't matter. If she knew that she was coming and she put you 3 in a room, which is if that is your plus one, your plus one should be with you. And you better be glad she accommodated her, because as for me, if it's somebody I don't flock with, she would have been flocking outside with the birds. And I don't care about, and somebody say, you guys hate Tisha. No one hates Tisha. I mean, she's just not our cup of tea. I like people who are accountable, who don't flip-flop. I mean, she's just not, her energy is all off. It's all about her. And if you want her to manipulate you, then you allow that. But I'm just not that type of person who will allow that from her, take that from her. So what I'm seeing is they're going to get it. I'm sorry. The judgment, its decision has been made, whether it's been made by Melody or the powers that be. Here's the thing. You are hating on this lady for being, bouncing back the way she did, coming in looking like a boss, planning a vacation. So you had to find something wrong with it. You had to find something wrong. The whole plan was to traumatize her, put her in the 9 of Swords, but she won't be there because she's protected. You may shake her, ruffle her feathers a little bit, but all she's doing is exposing you. You're being exposed for the bullies that you are. Nobody has sympathy for you. Nobody cares. But let me tell you, this was your way of trying to, and including Nail. I mean, who does that? Who does that? You ought to be ashamed. Once your problem was resolved, but I think you were part of the scheme. You were part of the scheme, and I have not made that connection yet as to why you would want to be, other than for her ex-husband. I just can't even. I can't even. You were part of the scheme. You were part of the scheme. You were part of the scheme because your reaction, all of you, even, and I don't really get you. Is it Trisha? Trisha. I don't understand why you felt like you had a voice here. You should have been somewhere sitting down, just with your popcorn, just watching it, because it's gonna flip on you. They're gonna flip on you because you remember what was her name? I think it was, and I hate to bring up her name because I don't think she cares to be involved with any of this anymore, but she was the blogger who said, who exposed the video, the P video. So she exposed the video, but one of the things she said was she said about Letitia, she said she and Kimmy don't like side chicks. Trisha, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but you got a whole side dude, and you were willing to be a side chick to Martell. And the only reason you decided not to be was because you found out, so you said, how he treated his wife. Your words, not mine. Some things are about to be exposed, probably in the next part of this, and it's going to show who's loyal and who's not, and you might even see who's loyal to who, because I could tell you this, Melody doesn't need your loyalty at this point because you've already been exposed for not being loyal to her. So the burdens will be on you. She can cut all of these burdens away because you've been exposed, but you're being exposed to the public for the type of people you are. Because everybody's going to be able to look at this in a different perspective. They're sitting still and they're watching this. They're watching closely. You know, I suspect that you're going to start losing your, because let me tell you, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk a little bit on this one. Okay, so by force or by choice, Kimmy, you were a side chick. Because in the true definition of a side chick, when I say by force or by choice, you willingly entered into a relationship with Maurice. Whether the papers were final or not, you entered into a relationship. I don't care if they were on their way to they had been dropped in the mailbox and sent to the judge. If the judge hadn't approved it, stamped it, you were a side chick. Keisha doesn't like side chicks. And so that's why she was a fan of Kiowa's. So she's looking at you differently. How about that? And I don't know who was this. I can't remember, but it was a previous show, and they were talking about, you know, at some point, even though you're the wife, you can become the side chick. So if you look at that in a different perspective, and from all of the rumors, and I'm not going to sit here and try to put any heaviness on you, Tisha. You know, the rumors, there are other people in the mix of your mix. So if you look at it in a different way, you may be the wife, but you may be the side chick. And if Tisha doesn't like side chicks, why hasn't she aligned with Sunny, who's now the wife, but you are still pro side chick? Destiny may not be a side chick to may not be Moses' side chick now, but the fact that she stays in the energy make it look like she wants to be, or she's positioning herself to say, okay, I'll take that offer. And I'm going to tell you why. Why are you still saying, yeah, you still love that man? You know what? When people talk to you about how you feel about a man that, you know, kissed and dismissed you and married someone else, you need to zip it. The only person you need to be talking to is your therapist. You talk to your therapist that is not going to publicize or publish your therapy session. That's embarrassing. That's humiliating. Why would you come on a show to publicize the role that you played in a relationship with a man who strung you along for 15 years or more, off and on, when he was married? So allegedly, when he was married, and that would have made you a side chick. Or when he was in multiple relationships, that would have made you a side chick or would have made you an extra. But Tisha doesn't like side chicks. Okay? And the same thing that you, Destiny, were upset with Sunny for doing, I'm not saying you are having tea with Melody's ex side chick, but you're making too much nice with her. That's because you have a lot in common. You flock together. So everybody's going to kind of look at this thing from a different perspective. Because when you can sit there in the stillness, to me, and please, if I were you, if anything, I would just say just for TV. It's just TV. It's just TV. Because you are not painting the prettiest picture of yourself. You look desperate. You look desperate. You need to keep this woman's... don't show me, don't show her, don't show everybody. What is the point of that? She's married to him. It doesn't matter what he said to you, this, that. She's not going to divorce him because of whatever happened in the past. He's already said, and he was very inappropriate in saying, but he's already said that he would... you would be the side chick. He should have begged for that to be cut. Because I don't agree with that. But he's already given you your role. So either accept the role or move on. But I'm just saying, as far as this this girls trip is, and this is really more of a commentary, but I am gonna upload it. I am gonna upload it. I really don't think that I need any more cards on this reading, but I can tell you this. Let me, I am gonna pull something. I'm gonna pull an angel message for Melody, but I could give her the message: cut them off. You know, all of your, you know, there's no need to make nice with people who don't want to make nice. And they have no intentions whatsoever to make nice with you. They have too much envy. Envy is a dangerous drug. They have too much envy of you being in this Nine of Pentacles. You bounce back too well. And you look good doing it. Look how the sun's shining on you. It's next to this Nine of Pentacles. You bounce back way too good for them. And bounce back with angels protecting you. But it wasn't given to you. You earned it. You earned it. I'm sorry. There you go. I am successful. That was the problem. That's the problem. That's why they need to put you in the Nine of Swords, because you're so successful it hurts. Melody, this is for you. I am successful, and you're going to always be. Even when someone tries to break you down, knock you off your horse, because the Six of Wands is like someone coming back, and that's what you did. You bounced back. The Six of Wands is an achievement that you will be showered with. It's like big time, big energy achievement that everybody is, that you get to parade across the stage for. And you didn't just parade across the stage for it. You were in the sunlight. So yours was so big, so positive, because not only are you doing, you're successful with the energies, with, making money, but you're giving back. You're making money and you're doing things with that money that are very positive, And you see the positivity there, and light is being shone on you. Your talent, your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions, representing the ebb and the flow, the infinite loop of creation. See here, you're going to always be successful. And that is the judgment. That is the judgment from the powers that be. So you don't need a bunch of haters trying, and I'm calling them haters. You didn't call them haters. I know I don't know what's behind your efforts of trying to make nice with these people that don't want to make nice. But the powers that be, they've seen what you're doing. The judgment is done. You've tried, you've done your best, but you may need to look at this differently. Sit back, and whatever your reasoning is, it's not necessary that you continue to try, but you are always going to be successful. Look at this, 8, 9, 10. So you are progressing, even though it's not in the same suit. You are going to continue to progress. But here's the thing: don't let them get you there. Don't let them get you there. And it's going to, because you're going to need to go home and take a spiritual bath. And I actually have them. I have them available if you want one. I'll send it to you for free, or tell you at least how to make them. That's for Melody Cherie. The 9 of Swords, maybe we can collab. Now, the 9 of Swords, this is where they want you. They want to get into your psyche. They want to get into your mental and break you down there, because they don't have any power to break you down financially. The 10 of Wands, they want to make this as hard and difficult for you as possible. And to me, the nerve, the audacity of someone that you're trying to be good to will turn their backs on you in this way. There's no loyalty there. But let me tell you something, and I learned this a long time ago, and it's a shame, you see. But I learned this, and it came from a child like mine. Now, I don't know if their parents were teaching this, or this was a reflection of their parents' thinking. But and I don't want to say who these people are to me, because I don't want people to get in their feelings. But there was a child, and he was best friends with another child. Now, the child was from a single parent home, though his father was present. However, his best friend's mom, his best friend was in a 2-parent home. So what the mother did for his best friend, she also did for the child from the single parent home. So if he played basketball from the 2-parent home, she paid for both kids to participate in that activity. Now, did that for many years. But at some point, the child from the single parent home expressed that he felt that all of these things that she blessed him with was their way of looking down on him. That was not the intention. So this may be what they're thinking. Because, you know, if you think about it, I wouldn't invite them to something this grand and this beautiful, because they're not deserving. But now, I'm not saying with the children, he was deserving, but it also gave her an opportunity to always let her son have you know, a friend in the sports or the activities, the extracurricular activities that he was able to enjoy. And she loved this other child as well. So, but it's the way you intend things are not the way that they're always perceived. So that may have been how they felt, that you bringing it out, rolling the red carpet out the way that you did was your way of looking down. But these women don't know how to be appreciated. They don't know how to receive your greatness. Because when you share your greatness with them, they see it. Unless you're going to put them on that same horse with you, they see it as you're looking down on the lowlies. Okay, that came out. That was extra. I shouldn't have. But that's their, they perceive that as you looking down on them, because you're, you know, tossing out a little bit here and there. And I'm surprised that the Six of Pentacles didn't show up somewhere. But they don't want, not that they don't want it, they want it, but they want like the big grand room that you had. They felt in their heads that they were entitled to that as well. But I'm going to tell you this. This is my advice to you, or for whomever this resonates with. The next time that you give, you know, from the heart to people that are non-deserving, and they show up the way that these people did about the rooms, this is your response. Oh, I'm sorry that the accommodations were not to your liking, but I can give you my travel agent and they probably can come up with something on the island for you. But of course, it would be at your expense. They would have liked those rooms. It wasn't like you made them sleep on the beach. It wasn't like you put them in a closet. It wasn't like you know, put a shanty out for them to stay in. You gave them accommodations in a beautiful home with beautiful views, and they were ungrateful. They were ungrateful. Acknowledge that they were ungrateful. And you know, I don't know what your intentions were. I saw what you said before, but you know how we are deep down inside. Your intentions could have been that, you know, what they thought, but it was well deserving if you did, because of what they have planned. They have some plans that are not nice. They weren't playing fair, but you were used to playing fair with them. They were not playing fair, and they needed you to just suck it up, but you didn't. You came prepared. They need you to be what is, my mom was one that always was the graceful host, and she would have done what you did, invited up her room, offered up her room. Not me. Nope, nope. And you shouldn't do that, because that's what they felt entitled to. But no, you did not put them in the rain. You did not put them in a shanty. You gave them a beautiful home to reside in. And if they don't like it, they have the right to make their own accommodations on the island for the remainder of the trip. They're supposed to be millionaires. They're supposed to be bosses. Because if I arrived and I didn't like my accommodations, I would have upgraded myself. So if you can't afford to be there, don't go. But I like girls' trips, and I don't want people to think that this girls' trip is what girls' trips are. And for somebody, I don't know who kept saying, speaking negatively against girls' trips. Why did you go? Who goes to a trip, goes on a trip that they, wouldn't enjoy going on? I don't like girls' trips. This is why I don't. She must have said it it was Kimmy. She must have said it 45 times, and that's stretching it a bit, but she kept saying it. Why are you here? Did you come to make everybody else miserable because you don't like them? So my advice, the message here with this particular girls' trip was they were hating on you. They had plans for you, but this is a lot like that story where they actually brought did harm, fatal harm to the young lady on a trip that she actually financed. Her friends. With friends like these, you don't need enemies. But I applaud Dr. Shanita, because she called it the way she saw it. And she said it, but I was thinking it. And it's funny because I watched this and I had stopped watching the show, but I actually watched it, and I applaud Dr. Shanita for stepping up and saying what she said. But I don't, a lot of people say she was there as a bulldog for Melody, but she wasn't. She defended the issue, and it was true. Why would you sit at my table if you don't like me? Why would you invite an enemy to my table? Oh, you're lucky you were in a room for 3. You would have got the shanty. You would have gotten the shanty, because you don't know how that would have spilled over. And we'll look forward to part 2, and maybe I'll do a reading on that one as well. But I pulled that one. But Melody, here's your angel message. Just say that I am successful. You're going to have to keep telling yourself that. You're successful not only financially, but you're successful in making the attempt, though you're stronger than I am, but that's why you have that light. You're stronger than I am, because I would have quit with these girls a long time ago. Next time, take them to Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas is what they deserve. Don't take them to, to the islands. They're not deserving. Look, and ask them how would they like that. But you are a Scorpio, so you are a water sign. So you're in your element. You're in your element. So there's nothing they can do to shake you. The water will charge you. The water will give you energy. They don't even know who they're messing with. But you keep your cool. But you better watch her. And I love it. I love it when she said that. You better watch her. Because they were just trying to make something negative of the trip. Who does that? Who does that? Because the fact that you brought it up meant that you had a plan. And now you've invited your plus one. Okay, and then let's go back. Let's go back because at the cabins, when you guys went to the wood cabins, as I recall, Melody and her husband weren't even, at the time, they weren't even getting along. And you put them in, I mean, it wasn't you, but you put them in a room that she didn't approve of. In Las Vegas, you put him in a room that was closely in close proximity of hers, and she didn't approve of that. Tisha. So, and then even in Texas, she was forced, when she was adamant that she did not want to have to engage with him at all, you put her in activities with him. Who does that? I don't care what room you put her in. And then you put her in a position, and then you talked about another woman being in the facility, in the same home. Who does that? Shady, shady, shady. Everything that you're doing, whether it's for him, you still make the ultimate decision to act upon your actions. You do the action. I don't care who told you to do it. I don't care if production told you to do it. I don't care if her ex told you to do it. You did it. So if you look at this in a different way, you'll see that whether it was her intentions to make you feel some kind of way about where you were placed in this home, why would she feel any other way about you anyway? It just ended up that way. And why? And like I said, stand down, Trisha. You don't get a vote. How do you know? How do you know what their relationship is? And the reason is you wanted, you are two words from being flipped on anyway. They're gonna flip on you like nobody's business. They don't like you. And it doesn't even have anything to do with your position on the show. You are a attractive woman. You're a threat to them. You are a threat to their men like well, I don't know, because they said their men like what do they call them, fullbacks? But you're not in a position of giving a vote, offering up. And you may be doing that trying to get in to the in crowd. You will not, what do they say with the basketball? Access denied. Know that. You may be a part of the plot. You may be used as a part of the plot, but they will never accept you. You're not a Scott. You will not be accepted. And you won't be accepted because your ex-husband is a friend of Marceau's. Or they have, I don't want to say a friend, but, you know, I don't even want to say an alliance with Marceau, but he's affiliated or an associate of Marceau. But Ken is an associate of Martell's. So, and you have admitted that you were invited and accepted the invitation to go to Martell's house when he was still married with his ex-wife. You will not be accepted because Kimmy and Letitia are very insecure. Who's to say that their husbands are not going to be inviting you to their houses? The thought of that, the mere thought of that, will keep you out of their inner circle. They probably try to figure out, why were you there? But since you came, they were going to use you as a pawn. Come on now, people, wake up. Open all three eyes. So here's the self-care, self-love message for Melody is take control of the change. You take control of the change. So that message for me says, and I don't know if you have or whether you haven't as of yet, because of course there's part 2 to this. So taking control of the change, and I think you did very well in the beginning. I would have handled it differently, you know, because they were trying to get you off your game, but you remained very calm. And you exposed them for the idiots, the haters, the ingrates that they were. So you take control of the change. And I'm not sure what that means for you at this point, but I'm going to leave it right here. I want to thank you for indulging me with my reading / commentary for the girls' trip on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe, please, and thank you. Hit the notification bell. I sometimes will do Love and Marriage Huntsville commentaries or partial readings for, you know, certain issues of the show. Not necessarily the only person that I'll do a reading for is Melody, and that's for free, but I've tried to stem away from that as well. So but I did want to do one on this girls trip because I've never met ingrates like this before. Well, I have, but you know, I'm a very matter of fact type of person, and I'll shut it down early on, and that will be the last trip that you would be invited to. I think the last trip for Letitia should have been her escort out of that primary event. I don't want to reopen old wounds, but really, you've not shown anything. I wish I could take the time out to actually do a debunker or show why I think that, you know, the ties should be cut between the two of you. I don't think there was ever really a friendship there, because it's kind of hard to truly be a friend to unrequited or lack of reciprocity in a relationship. You're so busy, and I don't know if hating is the right word. I think whining is the right word. Whining about Why she's got that and I don't have it? Or why do they root for her, they don't root for me? Why? Get your own bag. Focus on yourself, and you won't even see what's going on with her. You keep going to her for advice, so take her advice and keep it moving. Be able to say, you got to be in a position, in order to have a true friendship, you got to be in a position to want that other party to win, even if that means you don't get to win. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and you're probably gonna most times lose with her because you don't have the light. You don't have the light. You're not chosen for what's destined for her. You got to find your own light. You got to find your own path. That's my message to you, Letitia. And good luck with all of you. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. I'll leave it there. See you at the next video.